Well, welcome back, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are here to get the truth of what's going on. Well, in today's broadcast, I've got a lot of more information that proves that Joe Biden's administration is purposely destroying our country. In fact, in today's report, I'm going to show you truckers who are warning that if Joe Biden continues to force these policies down our truckers' throat via the EPA, which they are, this is fully in effect, by the way, then we are going to see a catastrophic issue with our food supply. One, which is worse than anything that we have seen thus far. This is not a warning from me. This is a warning coming from truckers, warning about the destructive policies that the Biden administration's EPA is shoving down their throats. And I think this is an absolute crucial report you need to hear. But real quick, just a quick break from my sponsor, Noble Gold Investments. Look, if you're not feeling so sure about your finances these days, you're not alone. That's why Noble Gold Investments is here to help. You can hear it straight from people who have already used them. Quote, "The Noble crew walked me through everything I needed, no stress. With their help, I can finally sleep easy at night." Well, this month, Noble Gold Investments is handing out this free 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coin if you qualify for an IRA. Invest in gold and silver today, and you can do that by going to lisahavengold.com. Fill out this info, and they'll send you this gold and silver investment guide for free. Click that more button for more information, or click in the description box below. All right, so let's dive into this these catastrophic policies that are being enforced by Biden's EPA. Take a look. And this is on foxnews.com. Trucker warns Biden's EPA regulations would be catastrophic for the American food supply. It goes on. The new emission standards put forth by the EPA are significantly more stringent and cover a wider range of heavy-duty engine operating conditions compared to previous standards and are aimed at reducing emissions of nitrogen oxides and other pollutants. The rule officially went into effect on March 27th of this year, but will be implemented for new trucks sold after 2027. Despite the positive spin by the current administration, truckers say the agency standards will promote green energy at the expense of the economy and the country's food supply. More than 95% of the trucking companies that make up the industry are small businesses operating about 10 or fewer trucks. JKC Trucking Vice President and co-owner Mike told Fox Digital News he believes that by complying with EPA's clean energy mandates, many small trucking companies will be pushed out of the business, tightening trucking capacity nationwide and causing severe price inflation, worse than we have right now, which will be passed down to consumers. Now, that is the actual warning that they have given, and I wholeheartedly believe they are right and on the right track. And they go on to explain why this is the case, right? And he says here, the EPA estimates that the technology required to meet these new rules standards will cost between $2,568 and $8,304 per vehicle. But the American Truck Dealers Association estimates it's more likely a $42,000 increase per truck. In total, the ATDA projects the associated cost of this new regulation on the country could reach $55 billion over the lifetime of the program. Now, I'm going to hit the pause button because this is a very important point to be made. And there's other points to be made that we're going to get into, but this is huge. They're literally telling us our vehicles are going to go up about $42,000 per vehicle. That's everything involved, not just $8,000, increase in the price, but we're also talking about maintenance, drive time, and all of this stuff, $42,000 per vehicle. Well, if I'm a company owner and I owned a company and that is what I was looking at, would I suck up those costs as the company owner? No, I wouldn't. I couldn't. This is an astronomical thing. I would pass the cost down to the consumer, right? I would say, oh, we can't afford this. Well, now we have to quadruple our prices of the trucking industry in order to take your product back and forth, because now we have to do these electric vehicle things and these gas emissions by 2027. And if not, we've got some pretty serious fines. Therefore, what will happen as a result? Your food prices will skyrocket unlike we've ever seen in our lifetime, because it will be passed on to the consumers. It will be passed on. The truckers work for pretty much every industry, right? Retail industry, the food industry, all of it. It's going to be catastrophic levels. And the Biden administration doesn't give two hoots about that whatsoever. All they care about is pushing their new globalist international agenda with no regard to the fact that we have big issues here in the United States of America with these kinds of agendas, right? But it goes on. Here's another issue that the trucker brought up. It says here, the charge of an electrical truck is about 10 hours, and the distance could be about 150 miles to 300 miles, he said. To give you an idea right now, one of our diesel trucks, when it fills out 300 gallons, it has the capacity to go 1,600 to 1,800 miles. Now, I'm going to hit the pause button because this is also a huge issue in Biden's plan, right? So a truck right now fills up 300 gallons of gasoline or whatever, or diesel, I got the diesel, and they can go up to 1,600 miles to 1,800 miles. Now, in comparison, and I'm just reiterating what he said there, in comparison, they charge their truck for 10 hours. They can get at max 300 miles. Then what happens? They go 300 miles, they have to park and recharge. 300 miles, they have to park and recharge. 300 miles, now they park and recharge. So, in other words, if you jump on a truck that's going from LA to Chicago, you're going to have quite a few stops, for example, along the way to charge that. That's going to cost more food, more money for the industry, and a lot more time for things to travel back and forth. This is a mega issue, but hey, it doesn't matter. Put those things and get that regulation on your company regardless. In addition to that, here's another problem, right? And these are really good issues that the trucker is bringing up. In addition, he explained that the lithium batteries weigh about 8,000 pounds. They're massive, which means there will be 8,000 pounds less in payload on each electrical truck to make room for a 4-ton battery. So they have to cut their weight on their vehicles by 8,000 pounds. This is now less product being put in the vehicle, not to mention the fact that there just isn't enough plugins, right? There's not enough charging stations either. But either way, these are some major issues. We've got less product that's able to be traveled, able to be stocked in these trucks. We've got shorter distances that they are able to go without having to make multiple stops. And then we've got a massive cost. This is going to have a pretty catastrophic effect on everything, not just our food supply. But in conclusion, here's what the trucker said. My concern is that if this technology fails, the entire supply chain will be dead in the water. Failure is not merely inconvenient, it's catastrophic. This isn't an option, especially for the food supply chain of America. And he concludes, time is money in the trucking industry. And this all trickles down to the end user, the American people. And it absolutely does. It will trickle down to you and me, regardless of these liberals trying to save the planet or whatever their excuse is. We don't have a sufficient alternative. We really don't. And it's not sufficient for the trucking industry. Now, things got so bad that we even had our congressional leaders, members of Congress, write in a letter to the EPA addressing this particular issue. And this was, here's a letter, but this is as of July 18th, so not that long ago, 2023. And they're writing to the EPA concerning their greenhouse gas emission for heavy-duty vehicles, which is what I just talked about. And here's another point that they make. They say to meet this rule, right, and to achieve its benefits, businesses must first purchase the vehicle and then put them in service. But the upfront cost for an electrical truck can be up to 3 times more than a comparable diesel vehicle. An electric truck costs roughly $400,000, and the average cost for the comparable diesel-powered vehicle is $180,000. That is over double the cost of what they are paying right now. Absolutely massive. And of course, we already know we do not have enough EV charging stations to go around. These are some pretty heavy things. Now, I do also know that the GOP tried to prevent this from happening. And even a couple of Democrats joined in on the action. Here's kind of just some information on that. House votes to end Biden's crackdown on gas-powered trucks. 4 Democrats join in. The problem is he vetoed it. He vetoed it. And so now it's completely vetoed and it's going through. And by 2027, if changes are not made, say in 2024, hopefully when we get Donald J. Trump, he'll flip things around, right? But that's if he gets in. That's if he gets in. But if he doesn't, we're looking at some pretty serious crises in the trucking industry. This is why I always tell you guys, just be prepared, get ready, because you never know what's going to happen. But if you really want in the now of what's going on, I put exclusive video content on restrictedrepublic.com. And I really want to encourage you to check out that website because we've got information there that you're not getting anywhere else. And they're only giving you parts of the story here on YouTube. So check it out. Go to restrictedrepublic.com today. Use the coupon code INDEPENDENCE, and you're going to get it for $4 per month for a total of 2 years. That is less than a cup of coffee on a monthly basis. And on top of that, we do live streams and everything else. So check it out there. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven signing out.